Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and these are the market positions for January the 19th, 2011. Now we're back here after a holiday on Monday, Martin Luther King Day. We've got some opportunity forming in the market. Now our first trade for tonight is going to be in the Forex market, the US Swiss franc currency pair. Now we've got a bit of a mixed bag here, but the primary move in my opinion is going to be up on the dollar Swiss franc with further Swiss franc weakness in the currency futures market. This is going to translate into a long trade onto the US Swiss franc. Now looking at our triple EMA cross, it has crossed, but we can see that we're running basically flat here. We've closed at 96.34, which is just above the 18-day predicted moving average, but we can also assess here that we have our predicted moving averages essentially are all stacked right on top of each other. 96.43, 96.36, and 96.24. This is consistent with a breakout type scenario. Now looking at our predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point, we've crossed the trigger to the upside in oversold territory. The same applies to the predicted MACD. Both of these are consistent and basically at trend ready levels. Now our predicted short, medium, and long-term differences, we've got quite a mixed bag here. Our medium term is broken lower, our short term is breaking higher, but our long-term predicted difference is well into positive territory. So if we look at that with the long-term crossover from Vantage Point, we're going to pull this up here so everybody can see that. Now our long-term crossover here is very clearly saying that the longer-term view on the dollar Swiss franc is higher. Now with that, all we're looking for now is a reasonable entry. Now looking at the dollar Swiss franc trades, I feel that this is a longer term play here and that we easily have scope to move back up to the 99 area or potentially even higher. So now that we've assessed based on the predicted differences, the predicted short or the predicted true strength indicator, the predicted MACD, the long-term crossover from Vantage Point, we now want to fine-tune this entry point for tomorrow. Now we can see that the neural index is pointing down. I want to point out though that the Vantage Point software only forecasts when all markets are open. Now with on the 17th we did have the holiday, so very important to understand that there's one day missing here. So this downward on the neural index, we're going to take that with a grain of salt and we're going to assess that everything is going to continue to move up from this point. So looking at the predicted low tomorrow, we have 95.89, 96.78 is the high. So for tomorrow, we are going to use the 96 level, 96.05 to get into the entry point. We want to have at least 120 point stop, and we're going to be looking, the initial move will be to 96.78, but a more medium to longer term outlook, and by medium to longer term outlook, I'm talking about the end of the week, possibly early part of next week, we would like to see the 98, possibly even the 99 levels. There's the opportunity here for a 300 pip plus move on this US Swiss franc currency pair, regardless whether we get dollar strength or dollar weakness. This is more about weakness in the Swiss franc than it is about the dollar. So keeping that in mind, we're using the long trade on US Swiss franc as an opportunity to sell Swiss francs. Now that's our first position for tonight. Now our second position for tonight is going to be in the 2-year US Treasury notes, the March contracts, the March futures contracts, excuse me. Now what we can see here is we've got a fresh triple EMA cross from Vantage Point. We've got a little bit of a mix on the predicted short, medium, and long-term difference. However, the predicted true strength indicator, the predicted MACD, everything looks good. The predicted medium and long-term differences are still holding well into positive territory. So from here, what we want to do is identify our key levels of support. We have 109.13, 109.14.25, and 109.15.50 with a close of 109.15.75. So this trade here looks quite good for a long position. So once we've identified this, we're going to go in, have a look at some of these crossovers from Vantage Point. Now the short-term crossover is somewhat flat. However, we can see that the medium-term crossover and the long-term crossover are still well to the upside. So with this situation, it tells me that we're going to get a minor pullback, and then from there we're going to extend higher. So now that we've identified that we want to buy this on a minor retracement, we want to go in and have a look at vantage points, excuse me, predicted high and predicted low for tomorrow. Now, looking at our predicted range for tomorrow, we can see here from the vantage point is predicting 109.13 as the low and 109.18 as the high. So we're looking for a very minor pullback towards this 109.13 area, at which time we want to use this to get into our buy positions. Now, with the dollar weakness that's been happening as of late, this should put further upward pressure on these 2-year notes. Now the 10-year note, also a very good trade, but for this week we're going to focus more on the shorter term notes, the 2-year. So those are the market positions for January the 19th, 2011. And again, my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com.